Okay, so you guys just did the 2010 paper. How did you find it?
Hard at the end.
Yeah, so it's like the difficulty kind of like doubles as you're going along, right?
Yeah.
And you're running out of time as well. So
Yeah.
so this is a good chance to familiarize yourself with this. So I think what you might be used to is like, oh, I did the test. Someone marks it for me, and then you get your score back, right? But I want to take this chance to introduce you to a little bit of the culture of maths. Okay, so what if I didn't give you your scores back? Yeah. So you might be like, well, how would I know which ones I got right then? Okay. How would I know for sure that I got the answers right? Yeah. And that question is exactly what a mathematician answers as their job. You understand? So a mathematician's job is to make sure that the answer is correct. All right? So we're going to be like mathematicians today, and we're not going to know what the answers are until we figure them out for sure. Okay? So so I was looking at your answers. So obviously, if people get the different answers for the same questions, then someone's not correct, okay? But also, if everyone gets the same answer, there's still a slight chance that
They're all wrong.
that you're all wrong, yeah. So actually, looking at from the first 12 questions, there was a very clear answer from everyone. So in some sense, as a team, the first 12 questions, you all basically agreed on the same kind of answers, but with a few exceptions. Okay, so the first 10 questions are only worth 3 points. Okay, did you know that?
Yes.
Okay, so the first 10 questions are worth 3 points. Okay, maybe we can quickly go through some of them. I think I would like to highlight question 3 and 4. Okay, maybe question 4 more than 3. Okay, let's do these together. Okay, so Greg starts at the square with the symbol. What's that called? It's called an asterisk. Yeah, in it, he moves 2 squares up and 1 square to the right. Which symbol is in the square he finishes? So you can see this question is if you can't read long paragraphs, that's where so you start here, right?
Yeah.
Moves 2 squares up.
Yeah. So C. The 1 square right and then C.
1 square to the right, yeah?
It's C. Yes.
Okay, so it's C.
I got that one right. Yeah, we all got that one right. The first 10 questions are easy anyway. Yeah. That's the thing. So everyone probably got them right.
Okay, so question number 4. See, a lot of these things are just asking you like if you can read the answer, yeah? So they put the answer in a funny way. So we kind of start easy so everyone get involved, right? So 100 people were asked to name their favorite place to visit in Australia. Their favorite places were Sydney Harbour Bridge. Have you heard of these places?
Yes. Yeah.
Surfers Paradise.
Yeah.
Uluru. Have you heard of that? Really?
Yeah, I heard it in news at school.
Oh, you've been to Uluru.
Talked about Uluru.
Okay, so you have an advantage. It won't just be some weird word here. It's actually something you know. Great Barrier Reef, Phillips Island. Okay.
I know.
So actually,
Those except for Phillip Island.
you know, there's a lot more to the question. Also, so. Oh, shush, Michelle, be quiet. So basically, you know, in under exam conditions, okay, there's like the quickest way to get to an answer, okay, and then but outside exam conditions, there's also lots of things you might check, right? So you might check that these actually add up to 100, okay, so like 25, 28, 18, or something like 19, 13, and 15. See, do they actually add up to 100, okay? How many more people voted for Sydney Harbour Bridge than for Phillip Island? Hmm? B.
Is Sydney Harbour Bridge is 20 more than Phillip
It doesn't sound
10.
right.
10.
How many people voted for Sydney Harbour Bridge?
25.
25, yeah?
Yeah.
How many people voted for Phillip Island?
15.
15. So how much more is 25 and 15?
10.
10. So that's a C, right?
I think I didn't understand the question.
Okay. This one's pretty easy.
Yes. No. 84 liters.
So a water tank has 56 liters of water in it. If 28 liters are added, how much water will be in the tank?
84. I said 84
Yeah.
liters.
Okay, so that's pretty simple, yeah.
Liters. You forgot to say liters. You got the answer wrong. Oh my god. I said 56L and 28L and then 84L. Oh my god. I didn't say liters.
See, this is kind of like an English question here, right? What is 1027 in numerals? Yeah?
1027.
Let's see, yeah.
C. That was easy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's easy.
So one thing.
Yes, What?
Alright, don't be annoying, okay?
No, it's not I didn't choose that.
Okay, so the following tally was made by a year 4 class about the pets they had at home, yeah? That's pretty basic tally. Oh, okay. So actually, I don't know. Knowing what a tally is isn't always what everyone knows, but you learn tallies at some point. So that means 5, yeah?
I learned tallies at year 1.
Which one of the following statements is correct? So you're saying the most popular pet was a cat.
Yes.
Oh, okay, well that is correct. So in the exam, if you saw that, you just pick that the answer. But outside of the exam, you might look at the questions and be like, well, was the least popular pet a bird? Like, no, mouse was also less popular. Class has 30. See, actually, this is a tough one because this forces you to add them all together, right? So this, yeah. So this is a time. So sometimes in these questions, it's not about getting it right or wrong. Sometimes if they waste your time, you also lose. Okay. So if you spend like a minute on this question, you've lost in this question. Okay. So there were more dogs than cats. That's not true. Okay. So everyone basically got E for that question. Okay. So eight. There's a lot of disagreement for 8. Okay.
It's 1/6.
So
It's 1/6. But if you do it in half, 1/6. If you do it in half, it's still 1/4.
okay. So what's the question? The midpoints of the sides of a square are joined as shown. Yeah. Okay. A part of the original square is shaded as shown. What fraction of the original square is shaded? Yeah. Okay. So what fraction of the big square is the shaded part? Yeah. Okay. So if you look at this, right? This is half of this, right?
Yes.
And this is half of the left-hand side, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
So the shaded area is half of the half, right?
Half of the half. Oh yeah, it is one. Oh, yes. Oh. So do we all get one? I think I got 1. I got 1/6. I didn't on this question because it properly. I already got 2 questions.
Okay, so this kind of thing you gotta be a bit careful, okay? So and if you
The 9th question is 3.5.
also when you get better at this kind of stuff, you'll have a feeling about which questions are more likely to be right or wrong depending on how you thought about them, okay? And maybe you did this question when the doorbell rang or something, right? And then you're more likely to get it wrong. So you can think about to come back and check this kind of question. Okay. Another way you can do this is you can actually literally get a piece of paper and cut it out, okay, and see what fraction it is. Okay, so this is what I call direct experiment. Okay. So direct experiment is where you just follow the exact thing that's there. Okay, it's not mathematical, but it's exam. Okay, so number 9 should be obvious, right?
Yeah, number 9 is so obvious. It's D.
Yeah, D.
Okay. What's the next question that's of interest? 10. Okay, 10.
It's E.
So 10. A lot of people got different answers for 10. Okay.
D. Because there's A.
So 10 is worth talking about then. Okay.
No, but D has the same E as the P on the pet shop. The P is the same. It's the P has to go turn around.
Okay, so most people here.
No, it's C. Because it turns the words around too.
So most people put E for this. Okay.
That's always C. It's C.
No, this is easy.
But C.
Because the P's are there.
Do you think it is? You know what? Yes, because C. You can turn the words around.
It's not turning each different shape around. It's turning the whole thing around.
So is it E?
Okay, so listen up. So Jillian is standing inside. Jillian is standing inside a pet shop and looking out the window shown in the diagram.
Oh yeah, it's definitely C. It's definitely
E.
So what would the P look like?
I think my nine.
So the P would look like. So the P, if you look from the outside, the P looks like this, right?
Yeah.
But from the inside, this part is going to be on the left, right? So it's going to look like this from the inside, yeah?
It's E. It looks like a 9.
Yeah,
Looks like a Q.
Okay. But not only is the P going to look like that, right?
It looks like a 9.
It's actually going to be at the front of the word, right?
Yeah, it is. Yes,
So that
it is.
therefore it's E.
Wait, it's E?
Yeah.
So which ones have it like that at the front of the word? So that's not right, yeah?
Where's the B?
This one's not right. This one's not right. So actually, this is the only one that has the P at the front of the word.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh, it's E. I got it right too. I got it right. I chose E, and then one was here. I was like, oh wait, I think it's C.
Wait, do people understand what we're going for here?
Yes.
So actually, all you need to know is if you're on the other side, the pet shop, the P in the pet shop, right?
Yeah.
So the word shop comes first when you go from the other side, right?
Yeah.
So that automatically eliminates C,
actually
right?
none of them because that might not be a window.
Huh?
That
It
might not be a window, and then you might just see.
It says looking out the window. Okay, so yeah, yeah, it's like F.
It might not be a window.
Okay, so yeah, so okay, so the shop P comes first, okay? So that eliminates C, and the shop P,
One-way window.
the shop P definitely looks different, yeah?
Yeah.
So that means it can't be B, D, or A. So that leaves
But
E.
it might not be a two-way window. It might be
Yeah.
a one-way window.
So can you see when it comes to the question in the test, right? You can find out what the answer is just from like one part of the question, not the whole question, right?
Yeah.
When you're doing this for homework, okay, when you're reviewing it, you might want to make sure that the other letters all look correct as well. Okay, even though you know the right answer is E, it has to be E. You still might want to check that E is correct. Okay. So, for example, pet. Does pet look like that? Yeah. So, yeah. So you don't have to worry about the symmetric letters, right? The symmetric letters are going to look the same, but in a different order. Yeah.
If you actually start inside the shop and then you see random letters and you're like, nope, I'm not going to the shop.
Okay, so if you look at E closely, it actually looks correct. Okay. Actually, this is another experiment question. Do you understand?
I see.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
how
it looks correct.
do you know how you can solve this by experiment?
Yeah, you write down.
So you write down
on paper, and then you do it like.
Yeah, exactly. So you write down a piece of paper, the word pet shop, right? So you go.
You could just write it very party and
So you can write the word pet shop, right?
why is that so annoying?
Yeah. Okay, and it's asking you what it looks like from the inside, so you can just look at what it looks like from the inside. Yeah.
Oh wait.
See? So this is called direct experiment. So you can actually just draw it on your paper and then look at it on this side, see? And then this one looks the same as that one, yeah? So you can actually just do this in the exam and look at the back. So
It's called cheating.
called experimenting.
And if people bad enough to be like, it's
It's not.
Okay, so surprisingly, not everyone got 11. Yeah, so we are going to go this a little bit slower than usual because we have a lot of different people in the audience.
Yeah, 11 is hard. 11's hard. It's easy. That's easy. 1.5 hours. It's 45.
Okay, so I read.
45.
So look, I read my book from quarter to 10 until 11:30. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I went from 10 to 11:30, that'd be 1.5 hours. Yeah. But I went from quarter to 10. Yeah. So it's an extra 15 minutes. Yeah.
So that's 45. Because that means the real time is 10 hours. 10:45.
Yeah. So you have 1 hour and a half plus 15 minutes. Yeah. So who got 1 hour and 45? We got this. Okay. C. Yeah. Actually, when I first read this, I read 11 as 7, but then I couldn't. There was no like 12-hour option. So. Okay. Okay. So.
12 hours options.
Okay. 12 blocks are glued together.
It's 10.
How many faces are glued together?
It's 8.
Oh, we have some disagreement. Okay.
8. Oh wait.
12. We forgot to count the other ones. That's why I got an 8.
No, it's like the first 6 ones in the middle is 8, and then the ones on the edge make 10.
Okay, so when it says how many are glued together, yeah? How many faces are these glued together? So I mean, the people are thinking about these faces, yeah?
Yeah, and then on the edge, with the other ones.
So actually, that's
And then there's also these ones which are glued together.
Yeah, those ones are glued together.
That's the reason why I didn't get a skin.
Okay, so how many is that?
That's 18.
1, 2, 3. Oh wait, that's 18. That's 18 times 2. That's 9. Wait, that's 9 times 2. So that's 18. Oh my god.
18. So actually, this is the first question where basically most people got this one wrong because according to most people, you guys got C was the most common answer, okay?
I said 8. I said 8. I was like, hey, that could be 8. I think there's something big about it. So I went to go check, and I saw these on the edges, but I didn't know the inside. I literally forgot about them. And I tried to tell you that, and then you said, no. And then, yeah, we got them wrong. I got it. I was thinking 9. Gerald, the 9 wasn't 9.
Okay, so this one's the first question that more than half the people got wrong, okay?
More than half?
Yeah.
So who got them right? Like
most people wrote C, okay?
Jeremy got it right.
Most people wrote C.
Got it right?
I can't tell you right now.
Only Jeremy got it right? Yeah, I think only Jeremy got it right.
Okay. What's the next question that's interesting?
Conomos has 16 flowers?
Okay, we might have to skip a few of these just for.
Interesting question. Interesting question. Every family has at least one car.
Okay, let's do 13 then.
2 families have 2 cars. No, that's the number of the family. But if you can see on the edge.
Alright, guys, listen up. So Mrs. Konomos has. That's a name. Konomos has 16 flowers. She wants to place the flowers into 2 vases so that one vase has 3 times as many flowers as the other. Yeah, how many flowers will there be in the vase with the most flowers?
12. 16. 12.
Yeah, so this question is what you would call a checkable question, okay? Because you might not be able to come up with the answer easily, but if you have an answer, it's easy to check if it's right, okay? So how would you check? So obviously, so the question says you can the flowers is 3 times, yeah, it says the 3 times the other one, right? So all you have to do if you want to check your answer, oh yeah, listen, okay, I'm telling you something that you actually don't know this, okay? Because some of you got it wrong, which means you didn't check it, okay? And some of you might not realize how to get it right by checking it, because you just need to check 5 answers, right? If you don't know how to figure it out. So it says it's 3 times as many flowers as the other one, right? So you just have to divide it by 3 and add it and see if it's 16, right? So actually most of them can't be divided by 3. Can you see that?
Yes.
So only 12 can be divided by 3. So even knowing that's how you check it would actually get you 12 really quickly. And then you just have to check 12, right? 12 divided by 3 is 4. 4 plus 12 is 16, yeah?
So it's 16. I got it right.
No, it's 12.
No, it's 12. Yes.
16 is not divisible by 3. Look, you can't have all the flowers in one vase, right?
Still, I need to get the Stop. Oh, maybe I just need to. Oh, wow. I think I got the 14 wrong. It's 2. Wait, it's every family. Oh, wait, every family has at least 1 car. Yeah. 2 families have 2 cars each. No, that's.
Okay, this is another question.
That's true.
See, like, can you see how, like, this question you could do in half a second, right?
No, it's B.
Oh, wait. 8?
So here it's another question that's designed to take away your time, okay?
There's not even 6 families.
Oh, yeah.
The number of cars in the family of each child
Yeah.
in a class is recorded. Wow. Oh, there's some families with 3 cars.
I only have 2 cars. Well, we used to have 2 cars. Now we've got 1 car.
Oh, so the time you got the new car before you sold the old car is like 3 cars.
We got 2 cars. We have
Okay.
1 car now.
Okay, which of the following statements is true, right?
2
So
families have 2 cars each.
So we can check the statements true and we can check which statements are false, yeah? So does anyone want to suggest an answer for this?
B. But I accidentally.
Okay, B. 6 families. So this is a checkable question, okay?
6 families. There's only 4.
No, it's more than 4.
6 families have at least 2 cars each, okay?
Look, it says number of families.
Oh.
So that's why you got it wrong.
So yeah, so this B it does look correct. So there's 4 families with 2 cars and there's 2 families with 3 cars, right? So there is 6 families, at least 2 cars. So anyone want to suggest something else, and we can see if it's right.
I thought it was 2 families that have 2 cars each.
It says number of families.
What it was D.
Okay, so if we look at E, okay, if we look at E,
I chose D,
Okay.
but now I think B.
3 families have exactly 2 cars each, okay? And that's not true because
What about 4?
Families with 2 cars.
there's 4 families, right? Yeah, so actually in your review, you should be able to go through the options and see why they're wrong as well, not just the ones right. When you're doing the test, you might not have time for that, so you just go for the one that's right, yeah? But to make extra sure, you make sure the others are wrong, then that one has to be right as well, yeah?
make sure the
So you don't make a slip up. So what did we say 14 was? B, yeah? Let's check out the other ones. 2 families have 2 cars each. Well, that's not true.
No.
So
Because 12 families have 0 cars.
Every family has at least 1 car. Well, that's not true. 4 families have exactly 1 car each. Oh, actually, that's true also if you think about it, right? Okay, so yeah, that's a problem with the question, yeah.
This question's so weird. It doesn't make sense.
So it is true that 4 families have 1 car each, right? It's just not only 4 families, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a mistake in the question, okay? So technically C is correct, but you won't get marks for C. You'll probably only get marks for B, okay?
I got wrong. I got wrong too. I thought
I
it
said
was
D, but it was actually B. I accidentally did D.
D. Yeah, same. I did D too.
No, I just realized it was B right now.
What?
Okay.
Because I just realized it says
Every
one more
family and 4 families. 270.
Okay, this is Liam's timetable for a normal school day.
It's B.
Yeah, B, that's annoying, yeah? Stop doing that.
Okay.
No one cares what like your answer is like that, you understand?
D.
Okay, so this is Liam's timetable for a normal school day. How many minutes of class time does Liam have every day?
C.
Oh.
D. B.
Everyone just shouting an answer. How many minutes of class? Okay, let's work out how many. So
250.
Yeah.
Minutes.
So there's 3. This is basically like our schedule today, yeah. You see that?
Class time, recess,
This is like our.
class time,
So there's almost 2 hours at the start,
today.
with 10 minutes less than 2 hours.
11:40 a.m. 1 p.m. and then after
And then the bottom one has 10 minutes more than 1 hour, right? So you can add those up to get
what? A morning or
3 hours.
10 minutes?
So it's 4.5 hours, right? 4.5 hours.
I thought it only meant like the words that said class time. Wait, morning
Yeah.
assembly.
Yeah,
The
so
morning assembly is only 10 minutes.
the class time is here, yeah?
Yeah, morning assembly is only 10 minutes. There can't be morning assembly. Morning assembly. Otherwise, I'll.
Okay, there's lots of ways to do this, but I think the fastest way to do this, okay, is to pair these two up, yeah? Because then you get 2 hours and you get 2 hours minus 10 minutes plus 1 hour plus 10 minutes, right? So the 10 minutes cancel, so it's 3 hours. Okay?
Yeah, wait. It's 3 hours and that's 300 minutes.
No.
No, 1 hour 60 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and then 11 to 11:30, 11:30 to 1, right?
500.
That's 90 minutes, yeah? That's 1.5 hours.
1.5 hours.
So you got 4.5 hours, or you have 3 hours plus 90 minutes, yeah? So how many minutes in 3 hours?
180 minutes.
180?
180?
Yeah.
Okay, and then how many minutes? So then 90 minutes, right? Is in 1.5 hours.
Yeah.
So what's 180 plus 90?
270. Yeah.
270, yeah?
That's what I chose.
Yeah, it's 270. I knew it. That's what I chose too.
I want to drink a bowl of
I didn't quite understand question 16. Then I understand you have to 5 times the money. Is this drinkable? No, it's hand sanitizer.
Okay, 16. Which tree?
It's E.
E. Because all the other ones have 5, and 5 times 5 is 25, which is not a 0.
Okay, so which 3 Australian banknotes would you have if you had 5 of each and a total of $400?
Oh yeah, 25 is not a bank thing.
Okay, so this is a checkable question, yeah? So if someone tells me the answer, I can check if it's correct really quickly, much quicker than I can figure it out, right? So can someone suggest an answer?
E.
Okay, so if I was... Okay, so if I was to check E, okay? So I have 5 of each. Okay. If I had 5 of each, would I have $400? Okay, so all I have to do is add them up and times by 5, yeah?
Yeah.
So this is 80 times 5 is 400, yeah?
Yeah.
So that checks out, yeah? To properly do the question, you might want to also check that the other ones don't check out to 400, yeah?
Because
because 5 times 5 is 25, and 25
is not big enough.
Ah, okay, good. So if you have a $5, it won't end in a 0, okay? So that's one quick way to do it. So if you have $5 and you times it by, oh sorry, and times it by 5, yeah? It'll end in a 5 and not a 0, yeah? So all the other ones have a $5 in it, so it can't be right, yeah?
That's one way too.
Okay, so 16 is E. Yeah.
I didn't use that way. I just said 5 times
5 times E.
Yeah. I mean, if you do 5 times E and you get it, you're probably right, yeah? It's just that in a
Like 5 times E is basically just E. Because 5 times E could be any circle.
It's fun.
Okay, 17, I think we can skip. It was clearly just B, right?
Yeah. It's clearly B.
17, I think everyone basically got.
Yeah. It's B. Wait, G. It's B. It's apple. It's apple. C. It's B. B's in the air. It's what's in the air? B. B. Why is
Shush. Actually, 20 is something you can learn from, okay? So, how do you do 18? So, Winnie is in the middle of a tuck shop queue. Jacob is 3 behind. Oh, we've seen this question before, right?
Yeah.
Jacob is 3 behind Winnie and has 4 people behind him. Winnie, how many people are in the tuck shop queue? So you have Jacob. So Winnie is in the queue, right? Jacob is 3 behind Winnie. So what does 3 behind Winnie mean? 1, 2, 3. That's Jacob. Is that what 3 behind means?
No. After the third person, then it's
And then there's 4 people behind him.
What? I thought it was Jacob behind 3 people. Jacob.
How many people are in the tuck shop queue? So yeah, but what?
Wait.
Winnie is in the middle of a tuck shop queue.
Yeah, so how do we know how much is it? Otherwise that would add up to 10. If you do that. And there's no 10.
There's 7 behind him, so there's 7 in front of him because he's in the middle, and then that equals 14,
15, yeah.
plus 1, which is Winnie himself, which is 15.
Oh, okay. And if Jake is there,
I didn't pay attention to that.
16, 17.
Oh my god. I am so
So what is so the question? This is actually an English question because if you got all the if you find it easy to count and double, then the question is really what does 3 behind Winnie mean? Okay, Jacob is 3 behind Winnie. What does that mean? So is it what I've drawn?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not this, right?
Third behind him.
It's not this. Yeah. That would be 4 behind, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
That'll give you 17, and this will give you 15, right?
Oh yeah, that'll give you 17.
It's also English.
Okay, and we know the answer is odd. Okay, the answer has to be odd because you can't be in the middle if it's even, right? So it has to be 15 or 17, and then 15 or 17 depends on what 3 behind me. Okay.
Let's know identification.
Okay, the distance between fence posts is 5 meters. What is the number of fence posts needed to build a fence around a triangular paddock?
5 plus 4.
Okay, hold on. Let me just draw this up.
Yeah, 5.
So you have a 25 meter, 25 meter, and 30 meter, yeah?
Yes. I forgot my answer.
The distance between fence posts is 5 meters. How many fence posts do you need? Oh, okay, so this is not a bad question. Okay, so obviously you need fence posts at the corner, right?
After 5 is 25, so that's 5 plus 5 plus 10, and then 30.
No, you gotta be careful. It's not asking you for fences, okay? It's asking you for fence posts.
Oh.
So if there's 25, there's 5 fences, yeah?
Yeah.
So that means there's 6 fence posts, yeah? 1, 2. So that's 4, and okay, I'll draw a bit closer. Like that, right?
4. So 3 times 4 is.
And then it should be 5 in here, right? 1, 2,
5 in here.
3, 4.
Oh yeah, and then that's.
All that added up.
5 plus 4 is 13.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
I don't think I did the answer 13.
Okay, so it's 3 plus 5 plus 4 plus 4, yeah? So it's the 3 corner ones. So there's 4 posts here, there's 4 posts here, there's 5 posts here, and then there's 3 on the outside, yeah?
Wait, why 3 on the outside?
Wait, what?
Corners.
Why 3 on the? So if that's 3 on the outside, then that's 6 feet.
Wait, why is there 3 on the outside?
What? There's 3 corners.
Oh. I said 15, no. I said 16. Oh.
But that has 7 on this row.
I think
There's 7.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so there's 7. So there's 6 fences, yeah?
No, there's 7.
7.
There's 7 fence posts.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing. What's wrong with that?
Sharon, what are you doing? Why can't you put the chair up and down?
Yeah, there should be 6.
No, there's 6 fences. There's 6 fences. There's 7.
There should be 6 fence posts.
It's 6 times 5 is 30, right?
Yeah.
So there should be 7.
Like, why is this?
Why 7?
Because how many fence posts like make 10 meters?
2.
2? No, it's 2 fences make 10 meters, but 3 fence posts.
Oh.
Okay, do you guys understand this?
Yeah.
So if you count all of them up, how many is that? Huh?
I'll build a fence around.
16, yeah?
Okay.
You guys get it?
Yep. Yes.
So be careful, it says fence posts, not fence parts, yeah? Or fence pieces. Okay? Yes?
But if you counted the number of fence, wouldn't you get the same answer?
Oh, would you? Let's have a look. Oh, you probably would. So 5, 5, and 6, yeah? Yeah, you would get the same answer. Yeah, very good. Because it's on a circle, right? That's why. So you actually get the same answer. So actually, it's kind of a weird question then. It makes no difference if you did it wrong or right. Just you always get it right. Okay, so number 20 is an interesting one. You can actually learn something here, okay? How did you guys do it?
I forgot mine.
Because 2 and 4 are both even, and 2 is the only one that's even there.
2 is only even in the others are odd.
Okay, so basically for this question, see, it says it's divisible by 2 but not 4, but it's obviously divisible by 2, right? So we don't need to worry about that condition. The only condition we need to check is if it's divisible by 4, yeah? So we want a number.
But there's only one even.
35, 2.
And 2 and 4 are both
And that's divisible by 4, right? Okay, so do you know what the divisibility rule for 4 is?
Able to be divided by 4.
Huh?
Able to be divided by 4.
Oh, but do you know like a faster way to check if it can be divided by 4?
Yeah.
Okay, so for divisibility by 4, you just have to check if the last 2 digits are divisible by 4. Okay? And the reason is because 100 is divisible by 4, okay? So the first part is just 3500, right? That's always any multiple of something that's divisible by 4 is also divisible by 4.
Oh yeah.
So any number of hundreds is divisible by 4 automatically. So whether something's divisible by 4 only depends on if the last two digits is divisible by 4, okay? So then the question is it 22, 32, 52, 72, or 12, right? And then you'll quickly see it has to be 22 because it's the even number, yeah?
Oh yeah, 22.
Okay.
12.
So
22.
so the question actually becomes checking if these two-digit numbers are divisible by 4, okay?
Yeah.
Because every time you do the hundreds, it's always automatically divisible by 4. Yeah? Okay. So a lot of you, when you're young, you think a lot of this contest is just about knowing certain maths, but actually a lot of it is being able to productively use your brain for the full time, right? So you notice that a lot of you kind of just losing it by the end of the hour, right? It's very normal for young people. Actually, when we do Maths Olympiad in year 9, okay, the exam is 4 hours long. Okay, that's 4 hours long. So, um, okay, so a lot of people didn't get this question actually.
What's the answer?
Huh?
That's 240
It was 2.
minutes.
It was B.
Wait, is that right? Yeah, that's right. 240 minutes. It's 4 hours.
I think I got question 23 right. I think I got question 23 right.
Okay, so now we're into the guys. So you know the first 10 questions were 3 points, right?
Yeah.
The next 10 questions are worth 4 points. Okay, so now we're into the points which are worth 5 points. Okay, 5 points. And we also got questions. So question 26 is worth 6 points, and then 27 is worth 7 points, 28 is worth 8 points, 29 is worth 9 points, and 30 is actually worth 10 points. Okay. So if you do question 30 and 29, so the last 5 questions, what is it worth? It's 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10. It's worth more than the whole first 10 questions, right? It's worth more than.
I think I got 29, which means I got 9 points.
Okay. So we don't have enough time before lunch to finish all of these questions, so we should skip some. We'll leave some easy ones for after lunch as well, but we should try some of the harder ones as well, okay?
The last one is hard.
Alright, be quiet, be quiet. Okay, so okay, so let's do at least 2 questions, one from each section before lunch, okay? Okay, so maybe I'll let you choose which question you want to do in 21 to 25. Okay, who votes? You can have a vote, okay?
Okay.
Who wants to do 21?
One.
I want to.
Okay, you can only choose one, okay? You can't vote twice. Who wants to vote for 22? Okay, no one. Who wants to vote for 23? We got 2 votes. 23. Okay, 23 is gonna win this.
I didn't vote anything.
Yeah, but there's not enough vote. Okay, we're doing 23, and then out of the last questions, who votes for 26?
I'm not sure.
Who votes for 27? Who votes for 28?
Michelle's the only one who hasn't voted.
You get to vote again for this, okay?
I didn't vote anything.
Okay, let's start again, okay? Be aware of the rules, okay? Who votes for 26? Who votes for 27? You can all vote, by the way, yeah? Who votes for 28? Who votes for 29? Okay. Okay, so it's very clear. Okay, so before lunch, we're gonna do 23 and 29. Okay. Okay. Alright, guys, come on. We only need to do this for 15 more minutes, okay, and we can get to lunch. Oh. Okay, let's. What's the question? So a rectangle is divided into 4 smaller rectangles with areas in square centimeters, as shown in the diagram. Yeah, so being able to last for the full time is what we're working on as well. Okay, so if you think, oh, I'm done for now, I won't be able to learn anything anyway, that is the wrong thing to do. Do you understand? That means that's like a fixed mindset thing to do. It means you're giving up on the future of being able to concentrate for long. Okay, okay. So trying to concentrate for long will allow you to concentrate for long. Okay, a rectangle is divided into 4 smaller rectangles with areas in square centimeters, as shown in the diagram. So these are the areas. Okay. The area in square centimeters of the shaded rectangle is. Okay. So this is actually somewhat checkable, okay? So what Justin's saying, what are you saying?
Can we use the number to make that the shaded square?
What number?
Can we use the numbers that's shown in the square?
Shown in the square.
Like the other numbers.
You can use them.
Like 15.
Yeah.
15 was half of the shaded square.
I mean, it might not be half. It might not be drawn. It might not be drawn accurately. Okay. But it could be 15. Okay. Actually, this question is called a fake solve question. Okay. So in maths competitions, this is called a fake solve question because you can actually come up with any rectangle that has those dimensions, and the answer would have to be correct. Okay. So there might be more than one solution, or there might not be. But like, if you can somehow come up with numbers that give you 3, 6, that give you 6, 10, and 15, you'll always get the answer as well. Okay. And in some sense, it's also a checkable question. Okay. So, did anyone have a good answer for this? Yes. Okay. So you think it might be 30? Let's have a look. 30.
I think it's E. I think it's B.
B. Okay, can you explain why? So I think I heard his reason for why it's 30. Why do you think it's something else? Why do you think it's another thing?
I think it's 25 plus 10 plus 15.
Yeah, the way I'm kind of thinking about it right now is I'm thinking if I guess this is like 3 and this is 5, then this would be like 3 and this would be 2, right? And then this would be 5, yeah?
Yeah.
Can you see that's a fake solve right there. So because if I can guess that's 5, then this is 5 by 5, right? Okay.
Why is it 5 by 3?
Because 5 times 3 is 15.
Oh.
Okay. So that's how I would approach this question, but yeah, so I guess 6 and 10 have a common factor of 2, right? And 6 and 15 have a common factor of 3, yeah? I mean, it could also be different. See, what if like instead of taking 2, so in this case the area would actually be 25, right? What if instead of taking 2, you divided it by like something crazy like 10, right? So then this is like 0. So this is like sorry, this is like instead of 2, you said it was like 1, okay? And then this would be 6 and this would be 10, right? Okay. And this is 6, and then this is crazy. This will be 15 on 6, which is 2.5, right? Okay. And then you have 2.5 times 10 is still 25, yeah? So actually, no matter how you write the numbers at the top, okay, So no matter how you write the numbers at the top, you'll always get 25, which is actually a crazy thing that you can check when you're doing it for homework, right? Okay. But when you're doing the exam, you only need one combination of numbers that gets you 25, and then you know it's the correct answer. Okay. So actually, no matter what numbers you write, you'll always get 25. That's kind of the crazy thing that you don't actually need to admire during the exam. Does that make sense? Okay, so it looks like question 20, 23 is B, right? Yeah, see, look, I'm trying to set you an example. I don't have the answers with me. I'm not reading the answers, you understand? I'm just solving them as we're doing it. Okay? And that's what I think should be, because I'm sort of teaching you how someone who can solve the questions would solve them, right? Okay, a lot of the teachers that you have, they're actually just reading the questions. They can't solve them themselves, okay?
That's true. They need the answer. It's like they can't even.
Alright, guys, okay, so last question before lunch, okay? So, actually, this is a good question, actually. So, a lot of the time, if you don't know how to do this one, but I'm assuming some of you know how to do this one, that's why you want to pick this one, right? But if you didn't know how to do it, this is a good question to actually spend some time on. Spend some time on it without someone telling you the answer, okay? Because you never know if it's because you can't do it because there's not enough time, or because you actually don't know how to do it, right? Okay. So just because the exam says 1 hour doesn't mean doesn't mean you can't spend like 3 hours on your own trying to this question, yeah? Because sometimes it takes that 3 hours of practice or understanding and thinking to understand how to do that question in like 2 minutes. You know what I mean? It's like it takes 3 hours of preparation to do it in the exam in 5 minutes. Yeah. Okay, so consider this statement. This is one great maths challenge. Every minute, the first letter of each word is moved to the other end of the word. Yeah? In how many minutes will the original sentence appear again? Okay. Okay, so let me just tell you one thing, okay? So when you're learning mathematics, okay, um, so usually there's two kinds of problems that you kind of encounter, okay? So this is like a problem where you've like just have never seen it before and you're kind of working it out from scratch, okay? And then when you get older, there'll be questions where like it actually follows from the theory, okay? So it's kind of like in the theory of maths, something like this comes under what's called the Chinese remainder theorem. Okay, it's kind of a weird name, isn't it? Chinese remainder theorem. So Chinese remainder theorem basically says if you have a lot of conditions, it's kind of a lot of conditions like this, you can always get a solution. Okay, so at the moment we want to think about this question as like we just never seen this question and we want to solve it. Okay, but later on, you want to kind of maybe think this question comes under Chinese remainder theorem, so that when you see other questions similar to it, you can relate it this way, and when you tell other people, they understand what you're talking about. Okay? Okay. So, what's happening? Does anyone want to explain how to do this question? So, one thing is you got to read this question carefully, okay? It's the first letter of each word, okay? So word, it's not the first letter of the whole sentence, yeah? Okay, is moved to the other end of the word. So the T is going to after S, yeah? Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So for the original sentence to appear, the T has to go back to the front of this, yeah? Does that make sense? So it goes THIS, and then it becomes hist, yeah? And then it becomes isth, and then it becomes sthi, and then back to this, yeah? So this took 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes, yeah? So it took 1 minute for each letter of the word, yeah? Yeah? So the answer The answer has to be at least 4, yeah? That makes sense? So the answer can't be 1, 2, or 3, or 0, yeah? It has to be at least 4 minutes. Yeah? Okay. So now if you look at each individual word, right? Can you see like is will come back into 2 minutes, right? And so basically what this means, so this means it has to be a multiple of 4, right? Yeah. And if you know modular arithmetic, it's 0 mod 4. Yeah? Okay. If you look at is, okay, is means it has to be a multiple of 2, yeah? Okay. So basically, you look at the number of letters in each word, it has to be a multiple of each one of those, right? Okay, so it's the lowest common multiple, actually, of all the numbers. So it's a multiple of 4, it's a multiple, so it's a multiple of 4, 2, 3, 5, 5, and how many letters in challenge?
10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah? Okay. So basically it has to be a multiple of all of those numbers, right? So you just need to find the least common multiple, okay? And this is a special case of the Chinese remainder theorem, which says even if you specified that so what does it mean to be a multiple? It means it leaves a remainder of 0, right? If you actually specified specific remainders, like it left a remainder of 1, 2 in these cases, yeah? Then the Chinese remainder theorem would still tell you there's an answer, okay? So it's a generalization of this least common multiple thing. Do you know what I mean when I say least common multiple? So, like what's like the least common multiple of 6 and 3? What's the smallest number that the fact has 6 and 3 as factors? It's 6, right? So what's the least common multiple of like 9 and 6?
9 and 6 is 18.
18, right? So it's the smallest number that has both of these as factors. Okay. Okay. So now we're looking for the least common multiple of 4, 2, 3, 5, 5, and 9, right? Yeah. I guess we should also make sure that we should also make sure actually there's one little sneaky thing that probably doesn't come up because it'll make it too complicated. But there might be some words that actually look the same before it gets all the way back, right? Is that possible? You know what I mean? It could be possible, couldn't it? Like if there was a word like E, yeah, then it would look the same every minute, right? Okay. So you gotta be careful if that's the case. But a word like challenge is too complicated, unlikely to happen, right? A word like maths, it's unlikely to happen because there's only one S, yeah? A word like great is only one R, so it can't really happen, yeah? Huh?
What is the word M-A-D-A-M?
M-A...
Madam.
Madam, yeah. So this question doesn't want to go into that, right? But if you're a smart mathematician, you'll think about that and make sure it doesn't, right? Otherwise, you'll lose a mark if it happens. You know what I mean? But obviously, I mean, 2010 is maybe a little bit easier back then. Okay. Okay, how do we find the least common multiple of this, people? How do we find the least common multiple of all these numbers?
Well, there was the word race car. It was student's race car snipping.
Yeah, exactly. But we're not flipping it, we're just rotating the letters, right? So there are some words that will be like very suspicious.
Are we playing Among Us?
Alright, guys. Come on, we're almost there. We finished this one thing, and you've lasted your hour, and we go to lunch, right? So we're trying to be the best version of ourselves, okay? We can't be happy with just mediocrity, all right? Okay. So how do you find the least common multiple of all these numbers? Okay. So let me tell you. So there's two approaches, right? You could just be a super big brain computer and just be like, oh, least common model, boom, I got it, yeah? Calculate everything really quickly, yeah? But that's not really how a mathematician does this, okay? A mathematician tries to make it easier for themselves until it's super easy. That's the skill in a mathematician, okay? So for example, I know that if I have a multiple of 4, guys, listen up. So I know if I have a multiple of 4, it's automatically a multiple of 2, right? So I don't have to worry about the 2, yeah? If I have a multiple of 9, it's automatically a multiple of 3, right? So I don't have to worry about the 3, yeah? If I have a multiple of 5, it's automatically a multiple of 5. Yeah, that's funny, isn't it? Okay. Okay, so now we just have to find the least common multiple of 4, 5, and 9. Isn't that easier? It looks easier, right? It's simpler. So what's the least common multiple of 4, 5, and 9? Yeah, so the one thing you should notice is that 4, 5, and 9 don't have any common factors, okay? They don't have any common factors even between any two of them, yeah? So these are what's called co-prime, okay? You know what the word prime means, right? Prime is like for the one number. Co-prime is for two numbers. So any two numbers are co-prime here, yeah? So they have no common factors, that's what I'm saying, yeah?
What about the 90?
90?
Yeah.
What 90?
Like, is 90 common multiple of 1?
19?
90.
90. Let's see. So 90 is not divisible by 4. Yeah? So,
180.
yeah, 180. So if they're co-prime, then the least common multiple is you just times them together, okay? So 4 times 5 is 20. 20 times 9 is 1.
180.
Yeah, so 20 times 9, you just do 2 times 9 and then add a 0, right? So 180, yeah.
Yeah, but I just did 60, which is 2 times.
Yeah.
So does that still count?
Fortunately, no.
2 times.
Dang.
180.
He mocks your work.
Alright, guys. It's lunchtime now.
Bye.